Okay. Hello, my dear Facebook friends. First, before we dive in today, I want to take a moment to express my sincere um, condolences. My just heart is breaking right now because I'm in Houston and I'm one of many that has been without power and water for, I think it was 2 days before I decided, like 30 hours actually, before I decided to come over to stay with a friend. Some people, many people here in the city and even surrounding states around Texas are without basic necessities, electricity and water. They have no heat, right? And I was fortunate enough, I had a gas stove. So the day that I did stay home, I was able to, cook or whatever during the daytime. Some people don't even have that because a lot of the appliances here are electric. The stoves are electric. So it's just a very challenging situation. And I really struggled with whether or not I wanted to go live with you today, knowing that so many people are without power and there's bigger things to worry about. But I decided to honor my commitments to everyone on my email list that I had told about this live, as well as to you, because I do post the events as something weekly and I definitely want to respect all of you that are able to tune in. And I want to give you everything that you need so that you can launch your own coaching business. Okay. So let's dive in. I hope you can hear me okay. Why don't you throw me an emoji or something, or write in the comments yes to let me know that everything is coming across okay, because I want to make sure that things are working properly. And once I see that, just write yes in the comments to let me know that everything is coming across okay. I'm going to check my phone as well. I just never know. I'm streaming from Zoom, so I hope it's all like working okay. And we will get started, and I will tell you the key benefits that has me working as a full-time life coach right now and why you may want this as well. Okay, we're all good. We are all good. Let me close this out. Oh. All right, let's dive in. Okay. um, I am fortunate enough to have made the transition to full-time life coach last year. And while I wanted to make the transition sooner, it happened at the perfect time. I made the transition back in 2020 during the pandemic when my employer, right, the school district that I worked for as a teacher, trainer, and coach, decided that it was time for us to return to be in person. And I said, no, I am not okay with that. And I have options. Fortunately, I had been building my business during the time while working full time, where to the point where it was sustaining me. Like it was at a point where it could totally sustain me. And I decided my health and my safety and my mental well being is more important than returning to this job. And I was able to make the transition to full time life coach. And it's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do because it's amazing. So, number one reason that I love this career path over any other job that I could have taken, right, outside of the field of education, is the location independence. I am able to work from anywhere. Hence, now that I am in my friend's house because of the crazy things happening here in the city, my business still is able to run and continue. You guys, many of you know, this summer I was actually planning to be in Colombia. Like I wanted to be there for 3 months. And a lot of people were like, well, what are you going to do for work when you get out there? You're going to like teach abroad and stuff like that. And I was like, no, my business goes where I go. So wherever I go, I can take my business with me. I can do it on vacation, right? Typically, though, if I go on vacation, I'm probably just going to be on vacation. But the trip to Colombia was like a 3 month stint where I was just going to live and be amongst the locals and enjoy my time there. So definitely was going to be working. And my job as a life coach, my business allows me to do that. So as long as I have electricity and an internet connection, business can run. So I have electricity here at the friend's house, so my business is running. Um, so yeah, before, like I used to have to commute to go to work, and now it's a 1 minute commute, which is amazing, from my bedroom to the living room, right? And the biggest thing that I got back because I no longer have a commute is time. One of the beautiful things about life coaching is you get to decide how much or how little you're going to work. Um, not having to commute meant I got 2 hours back each weekday to my life, like 10 hours a week that I was saving because I was just like here working from home, which is wonderful. Um, when I was working full time, I did work part time as a life coach. And even then, on average, I would say between 5 to 7 hours max. I worked in my business, and typically more like 5 or 6, right? If I'm calculating throughout the year. And even though I was working only 5 to 6 hours, I was making essentially what an educator makes, like let's say like a teacher's salary, just working 5 to 6 hours a week, y'all. Yes, you can make good money as a life coach. That's another benefit that we're going to be talking about. But like I said, you work as little or as much as you want. Because I do one-on-one, of course, I'm maxed out at, however many hours I can serve. But when you think long term, you can do group programs and things like that. So you get more time back, less time actually being face to face with clients, and more time to do what you actually want to be doing. I love coaching, so I'm very happy to be doing one-on-one right now. The third thing, the income, right? I told you I was working 5 to 6 hours a week, and I was making the income of people that work 40, 50, maybe sometimes 60 hours a week in their full-time job. Working 5 to 6 hours a week, part-time, that's part-time work, right? Um, I was, so that's just the beginning though. That's the beautiful part. Because there is no pay scale like in the field of education, there's no limit to how much money you can make. And what this reminded me of was, I forget what year it was. I don't know if it was like 2019 or so, maybe at this point, when I was on a vacation with my colleague. So, my principal and another person who had the same position as I did. We were both labeled as instructional specialists at the time. And we were doing some like timeshare activity so we can get tickets to like SeaWorld or something crazy. And they asked about our income. Like we had to say our income because they wanted to see that we made enough money to do these timeshares. And I found out my colleague made like $6,000 or $7,000 more than me a year. That frustrated me because this person was new to the role and he was actually a teacher that I had trained, right, previously. So I had more years of experience doing this role, coached him before when he was under me, and now coached him and trained him on how to do this role because I had more experience in it. Yet he was making more money than me because he had more years of experience teaching at the same grade level at the same school. I had experience teaching across the country, writing curriculum, training, and doing all this, and more experience in the role, and he was still making more money. Right? Coaching doesn't work like that. Does not work like that. There's no set pay scale because you are setting your own pricing, and that is as high or as low as you want to go. Right? You set that, and there's no limit to how much money you can make in this industry. Let me just give you an example of how much money you can make in this industry. Right? I will say the best coaches make this kind of money. You have to be really good at coaching and you have to be really good at selling, which is exactly what I teach my clients to focus on. But my business coach made 1.5 million in one day. Last year total, she made 6.5 million. And she did this scaling of her business, right, from zero to now 6.5 million in 1 year. In 5 years, she did that. I don't ever see me being able to make a million in education or 2 million, right, in education, however many years I do it. I can do that in coaching. And that's my plan, to do that in coaching over the next, what, 4 or 5, maybe 6. I don't know how long it'll take me, but I'm gonna get to a million way sooner than I ever would in the field of education, right? So I love that there's no cap. Oh, and then her coach made 25 million last year. So it's really crazy the amount of money that you can make. But that's not why you always get into this field, right? You get into this field because you love it, right? That's first. That's another benefit. Like I do work that I love every single day. I get to serve my clients in a big way and transform their lives, and I'm transformed by this work as well. So, big benefit. Number 4, you are in control. You are in full control when you are a life coach working for yourself, when you have your own life coaching business. I'm a bossy person by nature. I have always been, right? So the fact that I am in full control, right? I'm in control of how much I work, how little I work, how much I make, who I work with. I get to hand pick my clients. So as a teacher trainer, right? Like that was the last job that I did for the school district. I would often get asked to work with reluctant teachers, teachers that were struggling or that really didn't want to be there anymore. And it was my job to coach them and develop them. It's very hard to coach and develop a teacher who's really not interested in you helping them, who's not interested in the work that they're doing, right? I remember one teacher in particular, like we had a heart to heart session. Thankfully, my life coaching skills were able to help him in that moment because it wasn't working out for him, right? But as a coach, like I get to say yes to someone working with me. Like, yeah, you might be interested, but I get to say yes, if not, yes or no, if I'm taking you on as a client, because I need to believe that you're really ready to do this work. And I love my clients right now. Like, I love these people as humans, right? Even when they come to me struggling, and I love who they become in the process after we're coaching together. So that's super fun. You get to pick, right? Like you get to pick your niche or exactly what you specialize in, or if you don't have a specialty at all, um, how long your sessions are, right? You're in full control of this business. So that's really fun. Number 5. So growth is part of your job. So for someone like me who's loving to read personal development books, watching content and watching like life hacks and techniques and applying them to herself, and then getting to see my own transformation, letting my clients know about these techniques that worked for me, watching their transformation and the impact of my work is so rewarding. It's the most rewarding part. Like aside from the time freedom, the location independence, the money, it's truly about the impact of this work that I get to do every single day, the impact it has on my clients and the impact that it's had on my own life and who I've become through this process. And that's why I'm so passionate and willing to share and creating more life coaches, because not only do I want you to get coached and experience this work, I want you out there impacting other people's lives with this work, right? There's nothing like it. Like until you've experienced it for yourself, right? You're transformed and then you want to go transform everybody else because you're like, this is so good. Everybody needs to know about it, right? So that's where I'm coming from, why I'm like all about helping more people get into this field. And you learn this process and then you can go apply it to the rest of your life. Like in any area of your life, you know how to create results that you want. And then the last part, the last number 6, I guess, benefit of having your coaching business is scaling. There are businesses that people run for many, 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 many years and don't make a profit. And I will not lie, coaching can be the same thing. I know coaches that have never made any money, right? Um, Doing things for free, or they're just like, they've stopped trying to sell it because they didn't learn how to do it properly from the beginning and they just struggled. But scaling in a business like this is very easy because there's low startup costs. There's very little that you need to actually get started. I'm going to do a whole webinar on this, so be on the lookout for that. But you can grow it so fast, so quickly. Like I told you, my business coach in 5 years created 6.5 million last year. The year before that, she did 2.5 million. The year before that, she missed the million mark. She was like at 800 something. But that's how fast you can grow. There's other coaches that I know and I'm in community with where they were making like 20 or 30K the first year that they started really making money. And then the next year it was like over 100 something thousand, right? Like that's the trajectory that I'm on. And right now I know I'm going to double, yes, double what I made last year. Like scaling can be that fast. And every year after that, I plan on doubling, right? That doesn't mean I'm going to hit it every year, but definitely that's where I'm heading. That's the process that I'm learning right now in the mastermind that I'm in, and that's what's available to you in this kind of industry. So I know, like I'm just thinking back on when I started in the fields of education and how much I was making versus how much I was making when I left. I can't say I was doubling. I wasn't. From my starting salary to what I left at, it was not double. It was under, a little under, right? But notice how many years that was. It was like 12, 13 years. and I still hadn't doubled. Now, after from 1 year to the next, I plan on doubling. Like, that's what's available to you, right? So that's why I'm really passionate right now about helping educators transition it and launch their own coaching businesses. This is going to be where you start. We're laying the foundation so that you can start doubling your income and your salary every year, so that you can start impacting lives, so that you can start having that time back that you're spending so much time giving to your job, that you can get that back. But you need to lay a strong foundation now, right? Making sure that you're making the time that you do have now, and then revving up your business during the summertime when things are slower, so that you are able to fully make the switch after. So if this is the kind of work that you're ready to do, right, or you are interested in learning more, and if it's even a right fit, right, you're like, Jen, I'm watching you, I hear you, I see what you're saying is the benefit, this sounds great, but can I really do this? And you're not sure, it's okay. Book a call. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your specific situation, what your thoughts are, where you want to be 6 months from now. And if this is the right path, then I'm so ready to help you do this, because I am living and breathing the benefits of having made that decision for myself such a long time ago, right? And committing all the way through to now, where I'm like, yes, now I have a business that allows me to work anywhere. Now I can work just a few hours each week and get the benefits of that I was getting from my full-time job with less time, right? I have the time freedom. I can take my business wherever I go. I don't have to stay here in Houston, right? And I wasn't supposed to be here right now. But things like that, that's where I love that I have that option, and I just want to give it to you if you want it. So if it's something that you're ready for and you're ready to have that discussion, go ahead and send me a private message. I'll send you a link, and we'll book a time to chat, or you'll throw out some times and I'll check my calendar, right? I'm also going to put the link here in the comments for those of you that watch the replay. If you are interested in learning more about coaching and what it can do for you, you want to experience my coaching style, want to learn about what kind of things we do together over the course of 6 months to make sure that you are laying a strong foundation in your coaching business, so that next year you can be talking about you're going to double business, right? And that you're in the position where you don't have to go back to that job because you don't feel safe, because it's not fulfilling you anymore, because it's taking too much time away from your kids and your family or the other things that you want to be doing, then I'm ready to talk to you. So I'm going to put the link in the comments, or you can just feel free at any point, whenever you're watching this, those of you that are watching in the future, once you get your power back, go ahead and send me a DM, and we'll schedule a time for us to chat. I want more people to have the options that I have now, that I am so grateful for. It is a gift that I was given that I want to give to others. Okay. So I hope you are safe. I hope you are staying warm. I love you. I am praying for all of you. I'm hoping that we get through this crazy storm quickly, and that things are restored back to as normal as they can be, considering we are still in the middle of a pandemic. Okay, my friends, I love y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. Have any questions about anything that I said, go ahead and leave them in the comments. You know I always go back and check them. I'll see you next week. Bye. Now to turn this off. Um, oh, there I go.